Welcome to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus. Today's title is The Sins of the Father, Rodney Hinton Jr. The Lord is long suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. That is Numbers 14 and 18. This is Rodney Hinton Jr. right here on the right. And on the left is Ryan Hinton. This deputy's name is, let me get his name. Let me get the deputy's name. That's one thing I didn't get. The deputy who was struck Friday was outside of his vehicle helping manage traffic at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods Drive when a car hit him, Cincinnati Police Lieutenant John Cunningham said. The deputy later died at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, according to police. What is this deputy's name? Yeah, I don't see the deputy's name, but he was a Hamilton County deputy. And so I'll just jump right into it. Black people are justifying this man murdering this deputy, Rodney Hinton Jr. Now, here goes some facts about the case. Ryan Hinton was in a stolen car with 3 other young men. Ryan Hinton and the 3 other young men ran from the vehicle when they were stopped by the police. Now, the police were responding to a car being stolen, a Kia. Ryan Hinton also had a gun on him. So I'm going to play something from the news, and then we're going to jump right back into it.
Suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes.
Just 6 seconds passed between when police arrived and gunshots rang out. Officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder.
With the Hamilton County Sheriff said his death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday. Whit.
Christian Cordero, thank you.
So this father took it upon himself to kill this deputy. Now, his son was in a stolen car with 3 other young men, and he had a gun, and he ran from the police, and it is alleged that he pointed the gun at the police. All that took place, and you are upset with the officer. Now, if this father was really a real father, his son would not have been in the car with this weapon right here. This Glock with the extended clip, what they call the extendo. your son wouldn't be in a car with an extendo in a stolen car with 3 other young men. Now, we can all agree that this was not his first rodeo, meaning that his son, this wasn't his first time stealing a car. This wasn't his first time being involved in crime. Now, the way the father crashed out lets you know what type of father he was. And Black people are condoning this. Remember, I've been saying this for a while, that Black people are going to usher in the Antichrist. And this is what I mean. We just had Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. Now we have Rodney Hinton Jr. and Ryan Hinton. And Black people are taking the side of skin color over what is right. Even if you disagree with what Austin Metcalf did, you still can't agree that he should have been murdered. Even if you disagree with what the officer did, you still can't agree with murder. If you go to any platform that's talking about this event, 99, I'm going to just say 100% of Black people are okay with it. 100% of Black people are celebrating this. And it's sad because this lets you know in how much error the Black community is, how far they strayed from God and God's word. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Isaiah 5:20. God says, woe unto them that call evil good. And this is what Black people are doing. Black people are calling evil good. Just think about all the organizations that have led Black people and tell me which one of them have been righteous. Which one of the groups that have been leading Black people have been a righteous group? This man ran his car into this man and killed him. And Black people are celebrating it. They're saying that the officers were trying to intimidate him by being in the courtroom.
Based on the officer's interviews, the officer who did discharge his firearm said that when the individual came out between the dumpsters, he had the firearm in front of him. He was in like a bladed position, and it was pointed at the officer. And he felt threatened for his life, and that's why he discharged his firearm.
In terrible circumstances, where will the defendant be housed? And
now I want you to read what's on this video. And this is the lawyer, I think it's a judge speaking, and the lawyer's going to speak. But Rodney Hinton Jr. walked out of that courtroom with his head held high, facing all the deputies. That's the real definition of standing, misspelled, typical. That's the real definition of standing for something or keep falling for anything. He looked like a hero to me. This is Black people saying this. Black people are justifying this man murdering this deputy when his son was in a stolen car, running and pointing a weapon at an officer. Black people are justifying this. And I've said before that the vast majority of police shootings, the suspects are armed.
Until Tuesday, when we'll review the statute for continuing no bond in these unusual and very tragic and terrible circumstances. Where will the defendant be housed, and will he be safe? And I ask that because He was transferred, as I understand it, to Clermont County yesterday.
That's correct.
On my order.
That's correct.
And will he be returned to Clermont County until Tuesday?
It's our understanding he'll be returned to Clermont.
And you have a safe environment for him there in Clermont County?
Yes, sir.
You'll return him on Tuesday, May the 6th at 8:30 a.m. for a hearing at 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, for the record, we'd ask the court to put a bond on him now, but we understand that it's not a bond hearing request.
All right, no bond.
That is your.
Thank you. And we can hold him at no bond for 72 hours,
Yes,
is that
sir.
right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, y'all.
No, thank you all. Thank you.
And Black people are justifying this because Black people have associated law enforcement with basically rules and order. You see, what Black people are rebelling against and fighting for isn't justice. Black people want to be able to exact revenge, and they want to be able to sin. At the core of this, of all of this Black revolution, all of this social justice, at the core of all of this stuff, this woke idea, at the core of all of it is that Black people want to be able to sin and exact vengeance. That's what they want. And it's nothing about justice or what's right. This is clearly 1,000% wrong. And again, police shootings in the Black community account for 0.03% of the homicides. Police shootings in the Black community account for 0.03%. That is closer to zero than it is to 1%. Here goes an example of Black people in action.
Maybe there's gang activity here. That's crazy.
Sorry about that.
Holy cow. Maybe there's gang activity here. That's crazy. Holy cow. Maybe there's gang activity here. That's crazy.
Now, I want you to think about this guy in this video. I don't know what he's doing, but there's a drive-by happening and he's looking. He's not even shocked by the behavior. He's not even shocked by the behavior that these Black folks are displaying. He's not even shocked by it. He's just casually observing like it's an expectation. This is how bad it is in the Black community. People aren't even shocked by the most egregious acts. A drive-by in the middle of the day in a residential neighborhood. In the middle of the day, drive-by. He's not even shocked. That lets you know how bad it is. So when these officers are going into the field, this is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with people that have drive-bys in broad daylight. You understand the murder rate in Cincinnati? You understand how many murders happen in Cincinnati? How much crime is in Cincinnati? Why would this officer think this young man would have a gun and he would not be dangerous? And we saw this with Kyle Rittenhouse. All of the Black people wanted Kyle Rittenhouse to die. They wanted him to die. The fact that he lived got them upset. The fact that Kyle Rittenhouse lived, it got Black people upset. They wanted him to die. What Black people are asking for is ungodly and it's unrighteous.
My grandmother's gonna go, you showed that the police don't like Black people. Really? What are you doing up there? I had it all laid out. You would just download police data and not understand more about the police. He says, I wonder what the police are maximizing. Dawned on me in that moment. I didn't know, nor did I think I cared. I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go figure out what police maximize. So I set up ride-alongs in Camden, Philadelphia, Houston, some places in Massachusetts to ride along with the police. I just didn't like police. They came, they took half my family away. Granted, they were selling a lot of drugs, but again, not the greatest customer service. So I was biased against the police. It's obvious. I went, and I don't think I've received a better education since my grandmother taught me to read. It's a hard job. And I know that sounds obvious sitting on a stage. It's a really hard job. After 4 hours, everyone looked like a criminal to me. They were like, you could never be a cop. Because I was like, hey, let's pull over. That kid's got a basketball. I don't like it. Get a call for a potential overdose in a row house. It's an abandoned building. We bust in. Person dies within 6 feet of me. And it shook me up a little bit. And so I looked at the guys I was with and I said, yo, how about beers on me? And they said, what do you mean beers are on you? I said, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Do you want me to speak in Greek? I mean, I don't know. It's beers are on me. We should leave here. Let the paramedics take over. We should go. And they said, we got to go back to work. And I said, but we just saw somebody die. And the police chief overheard me and he was incredulous. He says, Roland, if I gave everybody a break every time someone died, no one would cover the shifts. And I was like, wow, it is a hard job. And so through these experiences, long story short, I collected a lot of data, and those experiences helped me understand what types of data to collect. We collected millions of observations on everyday use of force that wasn't lethal. We collected thousands of observations on lethal force. And the key question, I alluded to it earlier in a bit of a joke, but the key question is not just this arbitrary, silly snapshots that some journalists, not named Barry, do a lot, which is black people are 13% of the population and they are 50% of the police shootings. I'm sorry about that, but I don't know what that has to do with the question, right? And it was in this moment, 2016, that I realized people lose their minds when they don't like the result. So what my paper shows, we saw some bias in the low-level uses of force, every day pushing up against cars and things like that. People seem to like that result, but we didn't find any racial bias in police shootings. Now, that was really surprising to me because I expected to see it. A little-known fact is I had 8 full-time RAs that it took to do this over nearly a year. When I found this surprising result, I hired 8 fresh ones and redid it to make sure. They came up with the same exact answer, and I thought it was robust. And then I went to go give it, and my God, all hell broke loose. Former paper published the thing, published a report about it, and it was a 104-page dense academic economics paper with a 150-page appendix. It was posted for 4 minutes when I got my first email. This is full of shit. Doesn't make any sense. And I wrote back, how'd you read it that fast? That's amazing. You are a genius. People lost their minds. I mean, it was like colleagues of mine were going, well, I don't believe these results. He's using regressions. I'm like, well, what the hell else we been using? I mean, we've been using them for ever. That's what you use.
So, to make a long story short, he did a study for 2 years and he found no police bias when it came to homicides. He did a 2-year study with 16 people. On top of that, he rode along with police officers in the field. This was a very intensive and extensive study. And at the end of it, he found that there was no police bias in shootings. Then he said there was some police bias in the interaction, arresting or grabbing, being physical and aggressive. But he said there wasn't any when it came to the shootings. This man received death threats. He had to leave Harvard. I'm pretty sure he lost friends, all because he told the truth. And so the reaction to his study should let you all know to the magnitude of how much you all are being lied to, dear Black people. You all are being lied to beyond belief. I mean, these people are literally programming and propagandizing you all every single day. And this father right here is not a hero. He is doing the will of Satan. Anyone that is supporting this father is also doing the will of Satan. This young man could have been doing anything else that day, but he chose to be involved in crime and putting himself in harm's way. The police didn't come looking for him. He decided to commit a crime, and the police got called about someone's car being stolen. You know, the car that someone has to work to pay for, that car. You know, the citizens out here that are minding their business and obeying the law and trying to put food on the table, those people are getting terrorized by young men like this, but nobody cares. They only care about this young man putting himself in harm's way and being killed. And then to add insult to injury, this father kills this deputy and is made a hero. If you notice in the Black community, the only people that get celebrated are the degenerates. Again, Black people are going to usher in the Antichrist.